Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Analyst Truman, and I am once again the lead analyst for the Last Chance Effects channel that you guys have been following and just seeing on my Instagram. So currently I am in the middle of a trade, and I'm just gonna. It is Sunday, probably around 5:14 p.m. Pacific time. So the market opened up about 3 hours ago. Price for oil finally is updated on the chart here. We can see that price gapped, basically meaning that price closed on Friday here at a high of 82.37 and jumped to current price over here at 82.89. Now, this is the price per barrel. So with seeing this jump, we already have a gap that needs to be filled. This is why this is particularly highlighted. That's what these gaps normally mean, is when you do see a price gap, you have to understand, hey, this area in which this candle isn't, I guess you could say, laterally parallel with this candle and meeting as these other candles are. I know that may not make sense, but we have no wick that's closing the space in between this candle and this candle, or we don't have a full candle closing the space between this candle and this candle. Now, with that being said, once again, I released a trade on Friday, holding this position anyways. I was looking for possible, I guess you could say, buys, and I knew a gap was probably gonna assert itself, especially coming into this particular market week. But when it comes to this trade overall, I went ahead and established, first thing I did, ladies and gentlemen, was I was looking for what I would call a resistance and a support zone. These are particular zones when trading that the price is super duper heavily attached to, meaning it likes to continually go back, retrace it, retest it, and continually touch that area. As we can see here, guys, I'll start with our most recent candles. We're finding, you can see these wicks here, we're finding support on this blue support zone here. We can tell because the wicks are coming down, but they are still being rejected and being held above this particular support zone. Now, for me, immediately, I'm going to assume that that is a support zone, right? Just because I'm noticing, hey, we're having a lot of action down here at the bottom of these candles, including these wicks. But these wicks are saying, hey, there's a lot of buyers here in this particular zone. So most likely, as of now, sellers aren't able to break through this zone. So buyers are upholding it. Now, what I've done is I went ahead and once I created my, you could say, support zone here, I went ahead and pulled it out into the historical data. Because remember, guys, historical data is how you back test things. Historical data is probably the most important information you can use as a trader, just so you can see and map out how these particular commodities, currencies, stocks, whatever you trade, how they move. Now, I went ahead, took my support zone, pulled it out here into the historical data, these candles. You can tell right here we had a huge long wick candle here that came down and touched the exact price mark that we have set over here. And over here, once again, we have wicks coming down, touching. We have price almost being supported, which once again is why it's called support. It's almost being supported on this support zone. Once again, I'll show you. This is how I found it. Because right here, that zone's not gonna be given to us. But I'm noticing right here, we have those long wicks. We have a bunch of wicks coming down and testing this area, including price itself. We have this guy here coming down to test the exact area. So right then and there, I already have 3 confirmation points, huge indicating points that this is a really heavily tested zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and find my wick here and find, I guess, where my eye seems to like the price at the most, which I'm just going to go ahead and place it like this. I'll probably up it a little bit here. Once again, these don't need to be perfect. You guys don't need to have a perfect supply and demand zone to trade by any means, but you just need to be in the area because a supply and demand zone will make or break a trade. Now, when it comes to the resistance zone, I'm only creating a resistance zone here, folks, because guess what? We would like to see where our price could possibly test a higher high, because remember, here's our current highest high. I guess you could say lower high from the previous highest high, right? But right now we are bouncing on a channel on the daily. So I am looking to see this higher high being broken, which is why I threw a resistance zone here, because we saw price bounce off this bottom support zone, which we've already established. And it came up and then it hit in reverse, meaning the price came up, hit this resistance zone and basically reversed down through both zones. That's pretty crazy. There's a lot of seller pressure here, a lot of orders waiting to be filled. So with that being, we can also look back in the past for the resistance zone. Remember, historical data is your best friend, ladies and gentlemen. So what we'll do is based off of this here, I'm noticing, hey, there's probably a possible price zone here that's affecting the price and pushing the price back down, which you can tell here it is. We do have a nice bearish trend, but we do have a bit of, you could say, buyers right here. And that's also showing a little bit of resistance or support depending on whether you're above. If you're above this zone, it'll become a support. If you're below it, it's going to be a resistance. Now, based off, once again, historical data, we have this candle here kind of sitting in this resistance zone. We have a wick coming down, testing the bottom. We have a wick here and price bouncing off of the zone. Once again, we have the price hovering on the resistance. And here, before it broke through, we had a bunch of buyers trying to push through, a crap ton. And finally, guys, we almost got through and we finally broke through, right? So that's a really good resistance zone. With that being, this is why I have my trade set up. As you can tell, this guy here, let me, I guess, let's see if I can. Stop color, I'm gonna go ahead and make that a little bit more red for you guys. Oh my goodness, that looks almost green. Stop color, it's here, target color, I'm gonna go green, make it a little bit more green. Boom, okay, now that you guys can see my trade setup, the reason I have my trade set up like this is compared to my take profit, which right now we're looking to make $2,038. If we did stop out, we would only be losing $750. Now, honestly, this is about a 1 to 3. Yeah, this is about a 1 to 3 ratio, meaning that's pretty good. What I would like to consider a high probability setup. So what I did is I saw price come up. We saw price break this support zone, which once again, you could have already had established here, future or past time. It came up, it broke through, it hovered here. So with that being, I have what I call the hover and bounce theory, meaning price came up, it's hovering, and it's most likely going to shoot for that higher high. But my bounce theory is that price came up and bounced off. But hover is coming up and through, holding, building support, and then breaking up and through, which is what we're seeing here, which is why I entered this trade in the first place. A lot of people think I'm, probably think I'm a little crazy for entering in a particular trade over the weekend just because market is closed. You never know where the price is going to gap. But when you start trading one particular commodity, whether it's oil, gold, maybe you're even trading currency pairs like euro dollar, US dollar, you're going to figure out how the market moves. All you have to do is watch it. It's like watching your favorite TV show. Eventually, you're probably going to figure out the plot before it happens, right? At least if you've seen those particular shows being made by the same director multiple times. You kind of connect the dots and figure out, hey, this is most likely what's going to happen. The same exact scenario is happening here. So this is just a quick live video for you folks of the trade that I'm currently in. Remember, I entered in on this last Friday, which should have been the 9th. Today's the 12th. No, that would have been the 10th. And I entered in here on the 10th. Obviously, you can see at the bottom part of the 10th. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out with this trade here. I'm going to be honest. I'm not for sure if it's going to come down and fill this zone yet, but I know eventually this zone that we've created here needs to be filled. It has to be filled. So it's safe to say, after this hour candle, whether we break a higher high or a lower low on this candle, we can probably look to see if it does break this candle, it's probably going to shoot back down here and test this support zone, which is what it normally does. It comes up, tests it, and then shoots and breaks away. So let me, I'll draw it out with some trend lines here, actually with some arrows. I'm expecting price to eventually retrace to the zone that we've set up here in the blue. And then we're going to see that price to come and break this higher high. That is the trade that I'm currently in. So at this point, I guess I'm just figuring out whether or not, I'm probably not going to take any profits here. I'm going to hold my position. I'm pretty confident in this trade, but I am, depending on whether in the next 37 minutes, this candle opens below this candle, I might actually have two, I guess you could say, afflicting trades, right? Because we're going to have trades for buys and we're going to have trades for sells running at the same exact time. You may think I'm crazy, but at the end of the day, I know this price is going to be hit. I know this zone needs to be reached. It's already broken through this zone, but we have this gap that has to be filled, meaning we are looking for sells. But as traders, we don't know if those sells are coming now or until this particular price hits this first and then bounces off and comes down here and then shoots up. So that's once again what I'm waiting for here is some confirmation within the next 36 minutes to see where this goes. Because I'm going to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, if this price decides to fly up and test this higher high without covering this zone, I'm going to take my profits here with $2,000. Then we're going to wait for this particular price. Let me get rid of these arrows here. They're probably a little bit confusing. We're going to wait for that particular price as it shoots up to the top here to come, because we'll hit our take profit. We'll make that $2,000 automatically because we've already placed this into our trade order. So once this, if per se, this price comes up and touches this resistance zone before filling this huge gap, we know 100%. Well, personally, I do. I know 100% that this price will reject, come down and fill it. So that's going to be an even, I guess you could say, larger sell order than we have for buys, right? Because it's going to come all the way down, probably push this particular spot here too. So we can have two great trades back to back. So yeah, anyways, guys, I guess that's kind of my pre-market analysis for, I wouldn't even say pre-market, market's running. I guess you could say it's my lifetime market analysis for week 2 of Last Chance Effects. Do keep in mind, guys, this is week 2. We've already grossed over 950 pips. We are looking to gross hopefully over 1,000 this week. So we're definitely reaching some big marks for everybody who's been participating in the trades. I'm so glad you have. And I guess continue trading on your own as well. Right, use a demo account a little bit. Don't just follow me. I mean, if you're here to make money, that's literally the whole point. Then screw it. But if you really do want, want to learn a little bit about the market, figure it out, understand it, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. Like, no, I mean, historical data is a friend. You can play with it, but watching the current market move, whether it's on hour, 5 minutes, that's the best way to learn how to trade. You can just watch how that market moves real time, just so I just feel personally that's the best way I've learned it. Now, once again, guys, thank you guys for watching the video. You guys don't have to subscribe. If you guys have any possible recommendations regarding feedback, anything of that sort, please go ahead and just drop it in the comments below. Once again, please go ahead and hop into this channel, guys. I'm literally just making you guys money. That is the whole point and the whole purpose of this channel is to give back to you guys. God's been really good to me, and I'm just trying to get everybody on the same path that He's been able to enlighten me and get me on. So thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'm looking forward to shredding some results for week 2. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.